The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Vedanta and its application to Indian life, Part 4. Coming to our commentators again, we find another difficulty. The Advaitic commentator, whenever an Advaitic text comes, preserves it just as it is. But the same commentator, as soon as a dualistic text presents itself, tortures it if he can, and brings out the most queer meaning out of it. Sometimes the unborn becomes the goat. Such are the wonderful changes effected. To suit the commentator, Aja, the unborn, is explained as Aja, the she-goat. In the same way, if not a still worse fashion, the texts are handled by the dualistic commentator. Every dualistic text is preserved, and every text that speaks of non-dualistic philosophy is tortured in any fashion he likes. This Sanskrit language is so intricate, the Sanskrit of the Vedas is so ancient, and the Sanskrit philosophy is so perfect, that any amount of discussion can be carried on for ages in regard to the meaning of one word. If a Pandit takes it to his head, he can render anybody's prattle into correct Sanskrit by force of argument and by quotation of the texts and the roots. These are the difficulties in our way of understanding the Upanishads. It was given to me to live with a man who was as ardent a dualist, as ardent an Advaitist, as ardent a Bhakta, as a Jnani. And living with this man first put into my head to understand the Upanishads and the texts of the scriptures from an independent and better basis than my blindly following the commentators. And in my opinion and in my researches, I came to the conclusion that these texts are not at all contradictory. So we need to have no fear of text torturing at all. The texts are beautiful, they are most wonderful, and they have not been contradictory but wonderfully harmonious, one idea leading up to the other. But the one fact I found is that in all the Upanishads, they begin with dualistic ideas, with worship and all that, and end with a grand flourish of Advaitic ideas. Therefore, I now find in the light of this man's life that the dualist and the Advaitist need not fight each other. Each has a place, and a great place in the national life. The dualist must remain, for he is as much a part and parcel of the national religious life as the Advaitist. One cannot exist without the other. One is the fulfillment of the other. One is the building, the other is the top. One is the root, the other the fruit, and so on. Therefore, any attempt to torture the texts of the Upanishads appears to me to be very ridiculous. I begin to find out that the language is wonderful, apart from all its merits as the greatest philosophy, apart from its wonderful merit as theology, as showing the path of salvation to mankind. The Upanishadic literature is the most wonderful painting of sublimity that the world has. Here comes out in full force that individuality of the human mind, that introspective, intuitive human mind. We have paintings of sublimity elsewhere, in all nations. But almost without exception, you will find that their ideal is to grasp the sublime in the muscles. Take for instance Milton, Dante, Homer, or any other of the Western poets. There are wonderfully sublime passages in them, but there is always a grasping at infinity through the senses, the muscles, getting the ideas in infinite expansion, the infinite of space. We find the same attempts made in the Samhita portion. You know, some of those wonderful rigs where creation is described, the very heights of expression of the sublime in expansion and the infinite in space are attained. But they found out very soon that the infinite cannot be reached in that way. that even infinite space and expansion and infinite external nature could not express the ideas that were struggling to find expression in their minds. And so they fell back upon their other explanations. The language became new in the Upanishads. It is almost negative. It is sometimes chaotic, sometimes taking you beyond the senses, pointing out to you something which you cannot grasp, which you cannot sense, and at the same time you feel certain that it is there.